All right. A little bit of, oh, over here. A little bit of clearing out up top, and we have ourselves a prepared area up in that second story for a melon and pumpkin farm. And in here we have all of the stuff we need. And because only half of these folks over here have the pumpkin, but all 16 of them have the melon trade, I'm going to do this 80, or this double, I suppose, but 80 crop farm with 30 pumpkins and 50 melons so that we get a little bit more on the melon side. So, welcome in. And welcome back to the Vanilla series. In the last episode, we did a little bit of traveling. Hey, buddy. We got ourselves some different wood types. And now that we've got a decent supply of experience being with these guys and the little XP farm that we did down there, getting ourselves set up with all of the crops that we want to make the combination as powerful as possible seems to be a good idea before we move on to anything bigger and better. So, as the sun sets, I think it's time to get some sleep, clear out our inventory a little bit, and we can get to work. Come on. Come on. So, one thing that I want to do is potentially lower down that platform ever so slightly. Because if we have our rails here, that means that our crops are going to be up there at that height. And then what? Hold on, let me work this out. Crops growing on there, a space in between, our stuff on top, so the entire farm will be right up at that layer there. It's not too bad, but if we could lower it one so that we could see the crops being grown, that could be a little bit nicer. So, I'm actually going to remove all of this, and we're going to lower the ceiling inside the middle of that downstairs room a little bit. So, what I'm going to do here is just place these underneath, down at that height. And I'm hoping that from underneath it shouldn't look too weird. Okay. Oops, that was unintentional. I meant to place some torches just so that this is a little bit lit up top. And let's have a look down below. Other than that one stripped log, which we're going to have to replace, I think this should work fairly well once I get the rest in. Yeah, nice. Do I have any extra wood? Well, I'll deal with it later. So, with that now lowered down like so, what I can do is actually have my crops at this height, and I can see whether or not they're growing and whatnot. Or at least see in there to, I suppose, see the middle of the machine. So before I get started on the actual farm itself, the thing that I want to work out is the sorting system. And to do that, I'm going to have to make a couple of rails and get those set up, ready to go, so that I don't have to fiddle around with them later on. So, to start with, rails? Maybe I have to make one of these first. There we go. That should hopefully do for the main rails, and now I just need a little bit of this gold, unless I happen to have some in here. Oh, I do have a block of gold to get us started, while the rest of that cooks up. So the goal here is to get maybe a storage system up there that is accessible, and have everything move in there as effortlessly as possible, I suppose you would say. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So, how are we going to do this? One of the biggest difficulties is going to be getting the redstone signal without putting blocks of redstone underneath here. So, let me think about this for a minute. I'll see if I can come up with a design that works. And with that, a lot of effort later, I believe I've got a system working. So, the idea of this is, as a cart goes around, this is actually on the outside of the farm. So everything that is in here is underneath the farm, collecting the resources and whatnot. Then, once it's done a full rotation around the entire farm, it will come out this way, come up over here, and this is completely powered constantly. So it will want to go through if there's nothing in it, but this little detector rail here will power on this piston for a short amount of time and stop it. And then what happens is there's a comparator under there. And if anything starts to flow through this, for example, it will keep this piston activated, holding the machine there or holding the cart there until it is fully emptied and stuff has stopped flowing through there, meaning basically an empty cart, and then it will send it on its way once again. So that guarantees that every single time that the cart comes around here with something in it, it will deposit that stuff. So as long as this entire farm doesn't produce over approximately 9,000 items per hour, I think it is, that a hopper can do, although it will be slightly less than that. So let's just, for argument's sake, say 4,500 items an hour. It shouldn't accidentally back up. So what I've managed to squeeze in here is actually 2 item sorters just out the back. I did my best to actually line it up, and we might make a little lean-to off the back here. But these item sorters are going to sort the melons and pumpkins individually. And then if we come over into the main section here, you can see behind these guys, I actually have a hopper system going down to this side and this side. Now, I really don't want to fall in there accidentally, but we should have the pumpkins going in there and all of the melon pieces going in there, and I have a double chest on either side. Then, if I actually craft them up and I need to store some away separately, I can put them in here for now. So, other than trying to hide these couple of bits of redstone, I did have to hide all of the redstone underneath there. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all, actually. We'll eventually move this so that we have some better storage, maybe up the sides here, we'll see. But with that out of the way, I feel like I can finally start to make the actual farm itself. That was a lot of effort, and I really wanted to work that out by myself, so I did go into creative and try a couple of things out, and then came over here and did what I could to make it a reality. Now, just going to make myself a little step there, and now we can set this up. I do want to make sure that there are no items in here that are accidentally going to get caught in the system. So, I'm probably going to need a little bit more dirt. Yeah. I will, while I'm here though, put that in there as our little water spot. Ooh, we're going to be cutting it close. I might have to mine some dirt up. Nope. Nailed it. Okay, so with water in there, we'll go down and sleep, grab ourselves another bucket while we're down here. And do I have anything lighting source wise? Maybe we use some pumpkins. Either that or I duck into the nether and see if I can find some glowstone. Ooh, even better. I have a silk touch pickaxe, and somewhere over in the ocean there are some sea lanterns. Just in those ruins down there, I think. Now, from here, the farm becomes, honestly, ridiculously simple. Once I have lighting on top of it, like that, all I have to do is make myself a bunch of tilled earth and plant some seeds. So, we're just going to put down this right here and put some stuff away for the time being. I need a little bit of space so that I don't have to worry about it. We're going to grab all of this. I'm going to craft up 80 observers, and I'm actually going to grab some bone meal and probably even the bones from down. Actually, that'll probably do. Oh, I've got heaps. Wonderful. Because I want to grow the stuff to full maturity before I finish up this, so that it's not doing a bunch of stuff trying to wait for it all to grow. I think it'd be nice to just have it all ready from the get-go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that slightly off center? Oh, it is. Oh, it's painful. Genuinely, am I really going to do this? I think I am. Move it one across. And I'm going to build this up one more over this way. I can't believe it. But it will make it even, so can you blame me? Okay. I'll use a trapdoor on the outside here just to allow me to get underneath and grab this. And then we'll put that across there. Okay, now it's 2 off that wall and 2 off this wall. Oh boy. All right. So I just took a second to work out how I wanted to till the land around here, till this all up. I think this is how I want it, but I'm not quite sure. If I did this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe it still gives me the same amount either way, so it doesn't necessarily matter. But what I want to do here is try and get everything in staggered layers. So I'm going to put the melons on the 5s, like so. Oops, I should not have done that. This one is 5 as well. And that's going to give me 40 right off the bat. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I will take the pumpkins. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the same over this side. I think I've gone about this possibly the wrong way. But you know what? It's fine. We're just going to plant all of the extra that we haven't filled in as melons. I need 1 more. Really? I'm sure somewhere down here I have access to one. I never claimed to know what I was doing. Let's see if I can get around into this whole system here. And yes, I'm going to grab 1 of those. It's all I need. But as you can see, I've got the melon slices in there and the pumpkins in here, which hopefully will work sorting wise. So that one. Yeah. Now, let's grow them all up. Probably take that out of my hand. And we may get a couple growing straight away like that. That's not a problem. I will just destroy them by hand. All right. Wow. That is all growing at incredible speeds, honestly. So, we'll try and keep them under control, but they are going to get in our way a little bit as we go, but that's fine. Just, oh no. Let's fix that problem real quick. Oh, instantly, wow. Because now what I can do is jump on top of here, grab my observers, and on top of these, I can just place it onto the stems. And there we go. Now, much like we did just here, I'm actually going to jump up and hopefully I can work out a way like this to get myself underneath. Because now all I have to do is look upwards from down here and place in all of the pistons while looking against the sides. I might get squished a few times, but that's fine. I can remove those as I go. And once they're all placed in, a little bit of redstone on top and the farm is up and running. Okay. So, because these are going to start to grow quite quickly, I'm sure, I'm going to get myself up onto the side of here, like this, and, oh, I need redstone, which I should hopefully have enough to finish this farm off, I believe so. Let's go up our weird little elevator here, and just on top of every single one of the observers, we put a piece of redstone. Simple as that. Oh, yeah. Oh, and there we go. We can hear it going. Perfect. So now I should be able to take this stuff down off this side because I'm going to have to do the same thing from the other side. Now, let's just clean this up ever so slightly. But the beauty of this is when one goes, they're going to trigger all the stuff around the outside, and you can see that it hits the adjacent ones. Is that not? There we go. It hits the adjacent ones. What do you reckon, buddy? And it will fix these problems and get rid of all of the stuff. So I'm going to set myself up a little bit of a system here. for getting into things, like so, and one of these there will help me get all the way up if I need to. Let's do the same thing on here, and farm's done. Pretty much, anyway. And this should be the last piston. So, night has well and truly fallen, but I'm going to try and get this sorted. Okay, functioning farm. Giving it a little bit of a helping hand should get things up and running. Okay, there is so much stuff there already. I need to get this cart moving straight away so that we can get it out of the way and working properly. There is a wandering trader there that needs trading with, but he's just going to have to wait for a little minute because I need to get this going. So, what we'll do is probably, we might need some glass too. Got a little bit of sand that I can cook. I'm sure I've got some glass somewhere, just a little bit, but not much, because we are going to have to block off the sides, of course, so that nothing comes flying out. But for now, what I should be able to do is set this hopper minecart on its way, like so. And with a bit of luck, we should see it stop here, deposit everything that it needs to. Oh, it's grabbing a lot of this stuff, but it's probably going to fill up completely in this one go. Fingers crossed that we see it pop up here. Huh. Why did that not stop? Interesting. Maybe it's because the item's going straight through without hesitation. It might need a very slight delay. Yeah, okay. Okay. It's fine. We can work with this. I'll let it do it one more time and just get an idea of how it works. I think what's happening here is this hopper is only taking one item at a time. And so it's not holding that open long enough. So for example, if we have those 60 in there, I'm actually going to just put a little bit more. That should stay there. And now we will see it filling up with all of the stuff that has been picked up. So let's just put all of that in there for a proof of concept. And I'm going to have to, maybe on the outside of that window, on the outside of there, just put a delay off of the comparator and such to make this stay on while something is there. Interesting. We'll have to see. Can start putting some glass across here though, just to stop all of that stuff from spilling out. And that should also be enough to prove whether or not our item sorters are working. So let's see, that should move fairly soon. Cart is slowly emptying any second now. There we go. And it will be on its way. So I'm going to have to fix up that redstone timing. That's apparent now. Nothing that I want from you. And we have pumpkins and we have melons. Yes, okay. So all I've got to do is... is work out that redstone. And maybe not put that glass there. Tinkering time. I believe that works. So, in the end, I had to move it out one further because the problem ended up being that having a hopper underneath the hopper that was being read by this comparator meant that the items were passing through too quickly, and so it wasn't keeping the comparator on. So what I've done instead is move it out. As you can see, it's picked up some stuff. And that goes directly into this, which slows down the travel time between the hopper, keeping it on, and then that has a hopper underneath there, going back into this main section, which is doing all the sorting. So now I should be able to cover this up. In fact, I'm going to cover it right up like that. And we can probably do some decorating. I've got junk everywhere, but at least I know now it is fully functional. So I'm actually going to just do a very basic thing on the side of here, just to allow that to happen. Hopefully that doesn't stop the cart from going around the outside. We'll see in just a sec. Seems to work. I should be able to quickly jump up here onto this side and do the same thing. And I think we're all up and running. It should pick that stuff up there. Beautiful. Can't see anything waiting other than stuff that's happened after the fact. So all of that has happened after the cart has passed through. And so, if I come down here, this thing's still there, I should see a bunch of pumpkins and a bunch of melons. Perfect. So, what I'm going to do is just wait a minute until I hear that cart stop. There's so many noises, hold on. Friendly creatures, a bit quieter please. I think that may also include carts, but there we go. We can see some going in there. We got a little bit of extra of the pumpkins as well. I think I did it. That was a little bit of a brain strain trying to get that working, and I do now have a bit of a mess out the back here, as you can see. Some of that can go though, so I don't need that there, but I may need that one there. I don't want to ruin it. Yep, definitely needed that there. Okay, oh god, I've made a mistake. I made a mistake. Must fix it. Quick. It didn't catch it because of that. So there you can see the reason I put that was because I didn't believe that with the speed that it would be coming over here, it would catch it in time. So that activates the piston just long enough to catch it, and then the hopper starts to recognize that, activating this here. So I believe that is good to go. There we go. Collecting the items once again. Thank goodness. And I'll just have to do a little bit of a cleanup outside. But a quick snooze, a little bit of a cleanup in here probably, and we are in business. Nice. Very, very nice. So I'm just going to quickly make a mess over here. Put all that stuff away. And, okay, that's working again. Beautiful. Getting a few more of the pumpkins. I'm just going to do that and craft up a handful of these. Nice. So I'm hoping that with the extra melons that we put in there, we actually end up sort of matching it, if not outpacing it. We'll see what happens. Most of the time the pumpkins do come through pretty quickly. So I might adjust things up there that are growing. But all in all, being able to grab pumpkins like this and go over to one of my pumpkin guys and do that is great. We are starting to get to the point now, though, where it might be worthwhile zombifying some of them. If I just happen to accidentally leave some spaces open and let a zombie in, I mean, would you judge me? Probably. But nice. I'm really happy with that. Really, really happy with that. Now I just got to think how I want to decorate this. What do you reckon, buddy? He's been watching the whole process intently. Nice. Okay. So if I just grab a couple of these, see whether or not did I have, yes, this stone cutter, and we'll take that up top and just do a very basic border around the outside. Probably something like that. And I think I'll just do some upside down stairs just to block it off. Buddy, excuse me. Thank you. Something like that. Quickly get out of the way of the stuff as it comes around, and yeah, possibly do the same up on top. So let's just make a few more of those and put that there for the time being. Let's go around like this. Nice. So it's pretty compact in here, but that is a fully functional farm, and it seems to be working pretty decently. So we have access, or at least visual access under here to just check up on things and see whether it's all running properly. We've still got a little bit of a mess now out the back here, but I'm not going to fiddle with it too much until I'm sure of what I want to do. So for the time being, I'll just leave it like that, and I would count that as a success. I know I've spent pretty much this entire episode, well, I have spent this entire episode working on that farm and going through all of the bits and pieces surrounding it, but I feel like it was worth it. And now we're gathering some materials. And the beauty of this is, if I zombify these guys and then heal them up, we should hopefully be able to lower their prices down to about 1 and even lower the potato stuff. I might try and zombify and cure them a few times as this goes on so that we can start to really gain some emeralds from there. But for now, we're doing all right. Not too bad. I can remove this now, and starting to get to the point now where I should probably start to organize myself a little bit. So I need to start thinking about what I want to do storage-wise. Because this is only the starter base, in reality. What I actually want to do is have a base up in that mountain, just not quite ready yet. So a little temporary storage room, I think, is probably a good idea. We may even just make this area here our central point, I suppose you'd say. Maybe have all of our chests against the wall over there. Make this into a bit of a floor. Put a wall behind here with a little walkway going up. That sort of thing. I think that's a good idea. So, I think in the next episode we might work on that tree farm and start thinking about some other farms and some other exploration to help us get materials, to help us potentially start working towards heading to the end, all that fun stuff. We also need to probably go investigate the Nether Fortress. Oh, it's getting dark, I should totally sleep. But yeah, we can see our little farm up in there, and it actually fills in the window quite nicely. All these crops are probably ready to go as well. I am loving this place. And I hope you folks are too. So I think I'm going to finish the episode off there. I'm really enjoying making these vanilla videos, and I'm looking forward to expanding, making some walkways up here, doing some sugarcane farms, all that fun stuff. So plenty more to come in the future. But with that, I would like to say thank you very much to my Patreon supporters for your continued support. You guys are amazing. And if you would like to support me on there, every little bit helps. It really does. You do get access to a few things on the Discord, as far as a Patreon lounge where I do post things like thumbnails early and talk about what I'm doing, ask for opinions on those thumbnails and bits and pieces, but there is no pressure. I really appreciate support any way you can give it. Just watching these videos is huge. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all take care of yourself until the next episode, and I'll see you then. Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care of yourselves, alright? Yeah, I think it's maybe time that I start to get some of these crops again. Do a little bit of crop farming. Yeah. Also need to do something about a dock down here. Maybe a little bit of garden work on this grass. Maybe. Start working with some animals and such. Yeah. Also kind of want an elytra, but don't want to rush it too fast. We'll see how I go. Anyway, if you can see me, bye-bye.